Hello all, this is Anupama Zawalgi here and welcome to my YouTube channel. The book that we are going to discuss today is The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferris, also known as Tim Ferris. This is a number one New York Times bestseller, and the subtitle of the book is Escape the 9 to 5, Live Anywhere and Join the New Rich. So I must confess, when I first read this book was published in 2006. I read it a few years back. So when I first read the book, I thought that some of the ideas were just too radical, they were not implementable. Though this book has lots of great ideas, but some things I thought were not feasible. But over the years, I've seen how we have transitioned from a job economy to a passion economy or a gig economy now. And plus with the pandemic, the things like working from home has become the new norm, which few years back would have been really an impossible idea. So I think it's time to revisit the book again during these times, because this has some really great ideas. And since during this time we are all rethinking about our lives, thinking about our purpose and stuff like that. So this is a great book to see what other things we can do in our lives. So people get a lot of times they don't like the title work, the 4-hour work week, because they think it's like I'm working 40 hours, 60 hours, and there's no way I can go into a 4-hour work week. But I would say just don't think more about that 4 hours. Just think of it as like, if you want to live your life to the fullest, then this book is for you. Okay, so let's see what is the basic idea behind the book. The idea behind the book is that the way we have been doing things, how have we been living our lives? First what we do is the first 20 years of our life, we are busy studying. Okay, 20-25 years. The next 40 years, we are busy working, right? 9 to 5. Or whatever time, 9 to 9, whatever years your time is. And the next 20 years, 20 to 30 years, we spend in retirement. So it's like the first 60 years of our life, it's just work, work, work. And then the next, in the hope that we will enjoy whatever we have earned in the last 20 to 30 years of our life. But in this life plan, what we're thinking is just about money, right? But there are two other variables. So let's say when you're young, you have you have energy, right? Your energy is full, and you have a lot of time, but you don't have money. When you go into middle age, when you have those working years of your life, you don't have time. You have money and energy. But when you retire, you have time and you have the money, but you may not have the energy. So this is sort of what he says is like a deferred life plan, So all these people are like, he calls them deferrers. So they are like work, and then, in the hope of enjoying all that what they've earned in the last few years of your life. But is there a way where we can use all these three variables, energy, time and money, at the same time, where we can enjoy all of them at the same time? So that's what the whole idea of the book is. So there are other currencies apart from just money, and they are like time and energy. So we need to consider those two. Okay, so he calls the people who don't want to live the old way as the new rich. You can call it the people who follow the new school of thought, where they don't want to wait for the retirements. They have like mini retirements all their life. So there are some other differences also. The differers, they want money, and both of them want money. Nobody is there who doesn't want money. But they have the differers want money to actually live a comfortable life in the end. And also they want money to not be able to do the things that they don't like to do. But the new rich, what their lifestyle, their life philosophy is, they also dream big, but they want to enjoy that money now, and actually they want to do not just it's not like they don't want to do the things that they don't like to do. That is always there, but they also want to do the things they want to do. So it's just about not doing the things that you don't want, but here it's about doing the things that you want. So these people they are passionate about something, and they actually want to live their lives with that kind of passion, whether it's helping people, doing some passionate business. And here it's just about needing money for buying more stuff. So here it's buying more quality, not quantity. It's not about clutter. So you see all these minimalists nowadays, So their philosophy of life is very different from what it was a few years back. So they don't want to just fill their homes and garages with new things. They want more passion. It's not just what they can get from the money. It's what they can be and what they can do with that money. So it's more about experiencing life rather than just collecting unwanted stuff in their lives and homes. Okay, so these are some basic differences. Then here, even though if it's either it's retirement to do all the things, or if they are into business, it's always about an IPO or an acquisition or something like that. But for the new rich, what they want to do is they want positive cash flow now. They also dream big, but the cash flow has to be now. It's not like a deferred kind of a thing that they'll struggle now and then get paid some other time. Okay, so these are the basic difference between the deferrers and the new rich. So he says that the money is actually, in practical terms, gets multiplied when you have control over 4 W's. So what are those 4 W's are? What, when, where and whom. So what are you doing? When are you doing it? Where are you doing it? And whom are you doing it with? So this is sort of a freedom multiplier. The more things you control under this, the more power you have, right? So it's about your power is in your ability to choose, what you want to do. So the more you have control over, the more money you have. It feels like. Okay, so all the new rich, they want to control more of these things. Okay, so now let's say the whole book is about actually, questioning the status quo, you can say. They want to do things their own way. They don't believe in doing something because it's been done by people around them for so long. So if everybody is doing it, that doesn't make it right. So they have made their own rules. So let's see what the rules are that are the differentiators between the deferrers and the new rich. Okay, so the first one is the concept of retirement. So he says that for the new rich, the retirement is like a worst case kind of an insurance, like we take life insurance, that kind of scenario. So there are 3 reasons for that. Let's say you've been working for 40 years, but all that working life, all you have been thinking about is retirement. When do I get out of this cycle that I am in? That means you're not enjoying the work. And he says that's not a way to live your life, right? All these precious years in your life, you're just thinking about when I can come out of this. So that's why that's not an option. The second one is, the way things go, like because of inflation, the cost of living keeps going up. So even if you retire and then it's hard to maintain that kind of lifestyle that you had before retirement once you retire, if you live for 20-30 years after retirement. So you have to scale down your lifestyle. So that's again, not a good way to view retirement. And the third one is, let's say that you have enough money, you can maintain whatever lifestyle you had earlier, even now, after retiring, which is great. But then that means that you were really successful in what you were doing, and that's why you have so much of money. Or if you retire early, that means also you have been passionately working on something. Then 2 or 3 weeks into retirement, you're going to get really bored. You don't know what to do with all the time that you have. So again, you will either look for a different job, or you want to start something on your own, or you're going to be really depressed, which I can vouch for because my father still works at 86 years of age. He has never considered retirement because he enjoys his job so much. He enjoys his business so much. So that's why retirement is like the worst case scenario. Okay. The second one is interest and energy are cyclical. So they wax and wane, So you cannot be productive all the time. So you need to have some, period of rest and recreation and period of work. So he recommends like 1 month off or 2 months of work, which you may think too much, but you need to have some kind of a recovery period in between, because otherwise you will have a burnout, and which we see like a lot of people, they just work like crazy and they have a burnout, and actually the productivity also goes down. So you need to consider that you need to have some time, and that's why the new rich are always looking at mini retirements. They want to test their lifestyle also, whether they'll enjoy this something that they are doing, and also they can recover and be more productive when they come back to work. Okay, so that is the second one. Then the third one is less is not equal to laziness. We live in a culture where, the more hardworking the person is, he has great respect in the eyes of others. We often hear during, functions, family functions, stuff like that somebody's so busy that he cannot attend, the kid's birthday party also. And or people, are always boasting that if I don't go to the office, there's nothing will get done in my office. So that is, and people are really in awe of these people who are busy all the time. But he says that the people who are actually more productive and they don't work that hard and actually are give time to other areas of their life, so they are actually being more productive, and they actually produce more results. So it's all not about just being busy, but about being productive. So it's like if somebody is working less, then we should not say that person is lazy. And you have seen that even as student, even as when we were students, like somebody used to work, like somebody used to study the whole day, and somebody's parent would say, see, look at your friend, that person is working whole day, studying whole day, and look at you are just studying for 2 hours, studying for just 2 hours and then playing. But they don't know, like, that whole day how much that person has studied, or was he just sitting with a book in front of him or her. So this is the difference. It's not about the time you spent on something. It's about actually, are you doing the things that are absolutely necessary to do, and are you doing those well? Okay, so the next is timing. Timing is never right. We often hear people, they're always saying, that someday, one day I will start my own business. One day, I'll look for a new job. Timing is not right now, so I cannot do it now. Or I often hear youngsters now saying that I cannot get married now, or I cannot start a family now. So it's always postponing, and but the timing is never perfect. Sometimes if you really want to do that and it's important to you, then you should just start and then course correct along the way. So just putting it off it never solves a problem. Okay. Then the next one is ask for forgiveness. So when you ask for forgiveness, what is it that you don't ask? You don't ask for permission. Because what happens is sometimes if you ask for permission from others, like important people in our lives, maybe your significant other, your spouse, or your parents, about where you want to start something new, or you want to change your job, many times they say no because they're worried for you. They don't know how passionate you are about doing that thing. They don't want you to take that risk. But once you actually start doing it, then they fall in line. Then they start supporting you. So initially, before starting, they are scared and they don't give you permission. But if you actually get going, and then they will fall in line and support you. So that's very important. Don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness if you don't do it right. The next one is, we've already seen, is in Peter Drucker saying it in Effective Executive also, that focus on your strengths and not on your weaknesses. Because strength, if you focus on your strength, it's a multiplier. But if you focus on your weaknesses, it's an incremental increase. And most maximum you can be is a mediocre in that department, not an expert, or it cannot be converted into a strength. But here again, I would say that what Peter Drucker has said, that as long as those weaknesses are not character or integrity, because when you're going from a 40-hour week to a 4-hour week, you need to be really careful about these two weaknesses. Okay. So strengths is important. We all know that. The next one is interesting. Excess. Too much excess of even a good thing is not good, and we all know that. Too much, too many, and too often of whatever is good for us or what we like to do is still not good, right? And here in terms of time, if you have too much time and we don't know what to do with that time, it's still not good. So anything in excess, even if a good thing, is not good. So lot more exercise, more food, more everything we know is not good. Next one is money. Money is often used as an excuse, like for keep going, doing the same thing that we have been doing. So a lot of people say that if only I had money, I would do something else. So it's like an excuse to not actually self-reflect or introspect, what could you do differently and stuff like that. Because you said that I don't have enough money, so I have to keep doing what I'm doing to earn that money. So it keeps you stuck. So money is just used as an excuse. So we need to be careful about that. Okay. The next one is an interesting concept of relative income. So it's relative income versus absolute income. So let's say I tell you a person A is earning $100,000 a year, and person B is earning $50,000 per year. So immediately you would know that the person A earns more, right? But if I tell you that the person A earns $100,000 working 40 hours a week, and the person B earns $50,000 working just 10 hours a week. So now suddenly the equation changes, right? Because as compared to hourly how much the person is earning, the person B is earning more. Now if I tell you that the person A lives in US and the person B is in India, now suddenly there's even a bigger difference. So we are always used to looking at things in absolute terms, but it actually has to be in a relative term. And I think a lot of people must have realized this during pandemic, when they're working in big cities, and now because of the pandemic and they can work from home, they've gone to the small towns and they're working from there, so they don't have to pay the higher rents in the cities, and the lifestyle is also different now. You don't have so many avenues to spend their money. So suddenly whatever they had, the cash in hand, whatever their takeaway was, it suddenly appears to be more when they are living in a different location. So that's the whole idea of the book, and I think a lot of have got a practical experience of that now during the pandemic. So absolute income is not what we should look for. It's a relative income, because that changes the whole perspective. And the last one is distress versus eustress. So distress is the bad stress. We all know that we shouldn't have that in our lives, right? That affects our body and our mind. But there is a good kind of stress. Eu is a prefix, a Greek prefix that it means happy. So there is a good kind of stress also, which is like when we extend ourselves out of our comfort zone, when you get out of that comfort zone and, take on more stuff. That is when we experience this eustress, and that is very much needed. Otherwise, we'll be stuck. So even if you go to the gym, you don't lift the same weight, or you go for a walk, you don't walk the same distance every day. After some time, that becomes, you get so used to that, so that's not doing nothing to your body. So you always increase either the speed of your walk, or the number of steps you take, because you want that good stress, the body, for the body to grow. The same is with all other areas of your life, So for your professional life also, you need to extend yourself beyond your comfort zone, so that everybody's scared to extend that, but still that is a very important stress, that only that will make you grow. If you're always worried about stress and stuck in the same level, it's not good. So some good stress is also needed for you to grow. Okay, so I think this is basically the 10 rules that the new rich, or the new way of who have a new way of looking at life, they follow. So now I think this thing is clear to you. What are the things that they do differently. So this is the why that we need to change from deferred to the new rich. So the next, I thought there are such great ideas in this, so they need some, you need some time to absorb them. So I don't want to make a long video with all the other ideas, which will cover the how to go from the deference lifestyle to the new rich lifestyle. Okay, so that will be the next video, which will have the practical steps to go to make that transition. But for this, he has given 3 questions, which are very important, that we need to ask ourselves those questions to really get the gist of this book. So I'm going to share those questions with you. I think before the next video, you all should please, just introspect on those questions. So you will enjoy this book even more. So if you like this video, please press the like button, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video. Thank you.